Hello everyone, welcome to Soul Conscious, and this is going to be your all signs reading for this week. It's kind of a potluck, whatever the universe wants to talk about, call it what do you need to know, but it's whatever the universe wants to bring up for each and every sign. I have no idea what that's going to be, so this is a general reading and it's timeless for whenever you find it. We're all on different timelines. I'm trying to keep these intros a little bit shorter because I know probably nobody really cares about them much anyway. But if you do, if you are listening to this, I would appreciate it if you give this video a thumbs up if you like what you hear for your sign. And always feel free to subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you can find when I post other readings, because I do 3 different readings a week. Plus, I started doing the monthly overviews for each zodiac sign at the beginning of each month. So we're going to go ahead and jump right in, and we're going to start with Aries. And Aries, your overall energy is the 9 of Cups. Now, I don't go into a bunch of clarification with these reads. I try and keep these a little bit shorter, but I get whatever message wants to come through for your sign for this week. And if I feel like some clarification is needed, we do that. And then I pull 3 final cards at the end with a different deck and see if there's anything to wrap the message up, hopefully in a nice, tidy little bow. So right off the bat, first thing that I get is a significant romantic relationship. I'm getting this because of the cards. I mean, they're just slapping me in the face. The overall, hope, outcome, goal, the main energy here around this reading is the 9 of Cups. So that's something that you desire. But I'm going to tell you, it looks like this relationship has been a little bit rocky for sure. And I feel like, although that you hoped to get to your 10 of Pentacles, to have something stable, and you definitely have that Queen of Pentacles here. But it looks like to me, Aries, there's this difference. There's this little bit of a clash. And because the king that I have on the table is the King of Cups. And but I also see a Queen of Swords. So there's a Queen of Swords and a Queen of Pentacles. Now this could talk about, I am picking up a little bit of an energy of interference, but also I'm also seeing, that I'm really feeling, Aries, in this situation, in this reading. I'm picking you up as the King of Cups, but with the Queen of Swords being the center card, this is like the focus of coming to some realizations, coming to some truths, seeing some things for what they are. I'm really, like, what I'm picking up on is I'm seeing those flags and like differentiating the colors between those flags. Like you're seeing, like categorizing things, analyzing things, seeing things for what they are, where you may not have in the past. We also have the Empress here. So this is somebody of significance. Like I said, I am picking up for some of you. I definitely am picking up. There might be 2 parties involved here, 2 feminine energies. I'm picking up on 2 feminine energies that may be involved somehow. And it doesn't matter. Like I said, for you, I feel like you're sitting in Aries, this King of Cups energy mostly, where you're kind of not sure where to go with your love, where you want to give your love. I think that well, definitely with this Devil coming out, there's been some toxicity regarding this situation, but I'm really picking up on that with this 5 of Swords here, that it was mostly, like of your own doing, that it was kind of this feeling of maybe being, disillusioned, not seeing things for what they really were in the situation. And now you're in this Queen of Swords energy and you're starting to see things for what they are. And because of that, you're trying to get out of this Five of Swords energy, by, you got the Six of Swords trying to move past that. You're trying to move past that Five of Swords energy and move on and take the lessons with you and move forward, because you are seeing things for what they really are. Where I think before, like I said, I think that you were seeing things in a different light, a different perspective. And I think that you didn't, you weren't, it was kind of that, where you made yourself believe almost like fantasy, or what you saw wasn't really the reality of things, because your perception of it, you kind of set yourself up for failure in a way, and, in a sense, kind of disillusioned yourself in this situation. And I'm not saying that, like where I'm not seeing you moving away from the connection. I just see you moving away from that Five of Swords energy of that mental conflict for yourself, because you're seeing the truth of things now, and so you're trying to correct that with that Six of Swords energy. You're trying to move away from the toxicity that you've created for yourself, so that so that you really can have that wish fulfillment, because you realize you were kind of blocking things for yourself here in your own way. So for the final three cards, so we have it hidden here that, that I think that there is going to be forward movement here. And I think that it's hidden. You've got the Ten of Pentacles. The Ten of Pentacles came out. We've got that twice from two different decks. And like I said, I saw this was something significant to you. You saw this as a stable connection. There's been some hiccups along the way. But what you don't see is that this is still possible. That Ten of Pentacles is still possible. And it's hidden it's hidden right now with that Moon card coming out. It's a little bit hidden, but we also have the Knight of Cups. So it's still there. We can still move toward that. We can still put our energy toward that, Aries. You can still, that I feel like, that Knight of Cups is galloping along to head toward, where you want to be that night, that what you feel is that Nine of Cups. You still want to head in that direction. And I think if you still head in that direction with love, you don't see it, but there is a way that this still can come together. You can still have, your desire, your wish for whatever this is whatever this is to you. I mean, you have to figure that out for yourself. But with the Lovers here, it's definitely a significant connection of some type. So, whoever that may be in your world and in your life. So that's what I have for you, Aries. Hello, Taurus. Thank you so much for joining us today. This is going to be potluck, what you need to know. It's whatever wants to come up for this week's, for just a general, whatever the universe wants to talk to your sign about this week, Taurus. Oh, wanted that card. So interesting enough, Aries had the Nine of Cups as their overall energy. You have the Ten of Cups. You just had to one-up Aries, didn't you? So I'm really picking with that Ten of Cups, like a little bit of daydreaming, fantasizing about something, looking ahead. Like I'm really feeling like looking, almost like picturing the way you want your life to unfold. And you get the Lovers card came back out. So definitely a little bit different cards. Only a couple cards that were the same as Aries, and that's was the Queen of Pentacles and the Lovers card here. So I'm going to say, I guess the universe wants to talk about relationships this week. That must be high in the energy. So this is a relationship that, or someone that you have a lot of feelings for, definitely, you see as somebody that is that provider, that has stability, that's, has their stuff together, is kind of well put together, really practical. And I see this as being a little bit stalled right now. Like it's not moving as fast as you want it to move, Taurus. And I see your desire. It's almost like a little bit of a back and forth energy. Because we have the star here. So a tower fell on this relationship at some point in time. It that's representative of the star being here, because the star comes after a tower moment. So something changed, but it also talks about, seeing things in a new way, moving forward in a new way. The tower has to come down so things can be better. And this can fit or more align with our hopes and our dreams, which is here in your overall energy, your hopes and dreams. And this is something that you're kind of, like I said, I'm really picking up on an energy of someone that's looking toward the future and looking where they want their life to be and how this person is going to fit into it. But one of you is holding back, I actually am picking up that's a little bit of on both sides. Now I do feel that one person is moving faster than the other, in a way. Because I have the Knight of Swords and the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles is the center at the heart of your reading here. And I'm really feeling that is you, Taurus, because I think that you're wanting to take things slow and steady and move along slow and steady. And so I think that there's this little bit of reservation of holding back, that you haven't let yourself just fully go yet, but you are, you are hoping for this. You're dreaming for it. It's like you're taking the time to figure out how to make it all work, how to make the pieces work. You're taking that time to figure that out. But in the meantime, I think whoever this is that you're in a relationship is wanting things to move a little bit faster. And so there's this little bit of a disconnected energy, because you're just a little bit on different pages on the like where you are in the relationship is what I'm picking up on. And so because of that, it's causing you a little bit of a hesitation, Taurus, a little bit of a hesitation. And so I see this Hangman energy, not right now as getting a new perspective, as just like hanging back, kind of just hanging there, hanging back to because you're still trying to figure the way forward. As I said, you're still trying to, you're even with this Three of Wands, like you're thinking about making that forward move toward the Four of Wands. But you're still in this place, Taurus, of thinking it through, like how do I bring this together to make it look how I imagine it to be? How can I make the real world match what I'm what I'm imagining in my head that I want, is what I'm really picking up on. But I do feel like, I feel like this is the other person, this Knight of Swords, where they're wanting answers, they're wanting to move forward, they're wanting something more from you, and you're still trying to figure out where you stand. You're still trying to figure out how you want to proceed. Not that I don't see any negative cards out here at all, really. I mean, that little bit of holding back with that Four of Pentacles, but there's really no bad cards on the table. So it's more, it's more just figuring things out, trying to get on the same page with your person, because I think you're just moving or have different expectations in a way of where you are in the relationship or where you want to be in the relationship. And I think it's just, maybe some discussions that are needed here. We'll see what the final three cards that come up are. And if you like this reading so far, please feel free to hit that like button and always feel free to subscribe to my channel. I'd love to have more people join me each week. I put out 3 readings a week, and then I've started doing monthly overviews for each and every sign. So I'd love to have you joining me. Okay. Finally got a card. Okay. Okay, so there's that tower. There's that tower. It came out, the universe wanted to show me that tower. There's that tower I was talking about. So, so I think that with this 5 of Swords being here, that there's definitely was some conflict in the past, but I'm picking this up, Taurus, is this, especially with this tower being here, is this was a little bit of self-sabotage on your part, because I think there was, because we have the King of Cups, which can hold back their love. They don't always show and express how they feel. And then we have the 4 of Pentacles, which I said, I felt that energy of holding back, of not wanting to, fully give to this relationship yet, because you're still, in your mind, you're still trying to work that out, which is that 5 of Swords energy. You're still trying to figure that, how you want to make this reality match what you're envisioning for your future. And I think because of that, that's what causes tower moment, is the fact that you were taking a little bit too much time. And then I think because your partner, like I said, I really felt they were this Knight of Swords. I see them as, they were wanting to move things a little more quickly, or pick up the pace a little bit more than you were ready to do. And because of that, it caused you to get in your head and overthink things a little bit too much, and hold back a little bit because you weren't ready. That's what I'm really picking up on, was this energy of you not being ready yet, because you hadn't figured out all the pieces yet of how to make this work for you in your life. So that's what I have for you, Taurus. So now we're going to go ahead and move on to Gemini. Hello, Gemini. Thank you so much for joining us this week. This is basically a potluck kind of reading. It's just whatever the universe wants to talk to you about, your sign about this week. Whatever you need to know. I call it whatever you need to know. Sometimes I call it potluck, but it's just whatever wants to come up for your sign this week. What do you have for Gemini this week? Okay. Okay, 7 of Swords, Gemini. 7 of Swords. So let's see what we have to go with this. Okay, I see that you're trying to bring justice to a situation, Gemini. And I feel like you're having to stand up for yourself and bring justice to the situation. You're realizing that you need to communicate how you feel. You're wanting to move away from this connection. Yeah, it's definitely universe wanting to talk about connections, mostly romantic connections this week. So I have this, Gemini, your overall energy is the 7 of Swords, which is, you trying to get past something. But what I feel is like you've been sitting, in this 5 of Cups energy, over something that's happened that's requiring you to have a lot of strength, a lot of patience, that you have to bring justice to the situation. I feel like, you've been trying to make something come together and it just hasn't been coming together. I think that this is something, that's been kind of going on, that you've been kind of going round and round with a little bit for a while, that, with this Emperor energy, this is you, and it's also you, Gemini, realizing you need to take charge of the situation, probably move away from it, you're kind of wanting to sneak away from it because you feel like you have to bring justice to yourself or justice to the situation. And there's a part of me that feels like maybe this situation is something, since I feel like it's something that's gone round and round a little bit. This is what's required. Strength is maybe you're in a situation that you feel like you're trying to be fair. It's taking strength and patience to be fair in this situation. When you're coming together with this person, and because of that, you're trying to bring something into balance. You're trying to, I see this because we have the middle of your spread, at the center of the heart of your spread is the Temperance card. Now on the either side of that, you have Justice and the Two of Pentacles. So what that is telling me, you've got two things, like, the Two of Pentacles is talking about balancing out. You're trying to balance it out. And Justice is about bringing balance to a situation. So it's like you have had patience around trying to balance this out and bring justice to the situation. And it's required strength. And it's caused you to feel a little disappointed. I posted something earlier that I used the word disillusioned, and now it seems like it keeps wanting to come up. It's just wanting to be reinforced. It just wants to keep coming up for me. Must be the word of the day for me. So, but we have, like, you're trying to communicate. You're trying to communicate, and work something out with this person. I feel like, you're stuck in this because it's comfortable and it's stable, and it's just, you keep going round and round, but you're realizing that maybe you want something different. At the heart of it, Gemini, you're wanting something different, because this is your overall energy, is trying to sneak away, trying to, it's almost of in your mind, you realize you don't want to be here. You don't want to be in this situation. You're tired. You're tired of the strength and the patience that it requires to keep making this work, and to keep fairness and justice in this situation, to keep working at it, I keep feeling this going around and round, just to keep the status quo. And that's got you in this kind of this disappointment. That Five of Cups, I'm getting disappointment off of that. So let's go ahead and get your final three cards for this week. Wrap it up. So this is somebody that, I think that you're sticking with this person because you do have a lot of love for them. This is a significant connection. You have the Two of Cups, so this is someone that you feel, you feel tied to. You feel like you've invested, a lot into this relationship. You care for this person. And then you have the Seven of Pentacles, that time, and the Four of Pentacles. And I feel like with this Four of Pentacles, Gemini, it's more like you've had to hold back from being able to really be who you are in this relationship, because all your time and effort and energy and patience and everything has gone lately into just trying to keep the peace, trying to make it fair, trying to make it just in the situation. But there's like this part of you that's had to hold back and can't really, there's like a part of you that is feeling like you can't really express yourself. You're holding back, you're not being completely who you want to be by staying in the situation. And you're starting to feel that, with that Five of Cups, that disappointment. And with the Seven of Swords being here, you've been kind of deceived. You're starting to see that you've been deceiving yourself, that you can keep this going, that you can keep making this work, that you can keep going. You're starting to realize that you've put in, even though you've put a lot of time in this, and I think there's a part of you that feels like, that you have to keep making it work because you've invested a lot of time and energy and effort into this. So you just want to make it work and keep investing in it, there's this part of you that knows you want to sneak away, that you want, that there's the part of you that really does know that this isn't really what you want. There's a part of you that realizes that you have been holding yourself back by staying in this connection, that there's somewhere else that you want to be. You're sneaking out in the night, trying to head in a different direction because you want to be free of this. You're tired, very tired. I really am just feeling this weariness, a real weariness around the strength card is very, very weary, very tiring, very draining. Trying to continue to make this work, to keep revisiting and going over and over again, keep trying to make this balanced out and fair and make this connection continue to work. It's just, I think you're tired of it. So, if that's not what if you realize, I think, this reading was basically to let you know, Gemini, if this is resonating with you, that there's a part of you that knows that you can't continue to make this work. You haven't admitted that to yourself, but I think that's part of that Seven of Swords energy. You haven't admitted that to yourself yet. So you haven't completely broke free. You're thinking about it. You're realizing how exhausted and tired you are, how weary you are of trying to keep this fair and just, and keep this in alignment, keep working on this, how much communication and effort and energy it requires to keep it fair and just, and you're tired of it. So, if you resonated with this, but you haven't moved on yet, I think this is kind of to help those Geminis out there that maybe are thinking that, to say, yeah, maybe, you aren't fully wrong about the way you're feeling, that, don't keep trying to trick yourself into keep going round and round in this cycle. This cycle is you're probably right. In the fact that the way I think your intuition is telling you that it's time to move on from the situation. It's time to stop trying to go round and round and continue to make this work. So that's what I have for you, Gemini. If you like this reading, please hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. I would love to have you as part of my group here that joins me. And I thank you so much if you took the time to stop by and check out this reading. I appreciate everyone that does. Thank you so much. We're going to go ahead and move on to Cancer. Hello, Cancer. So the universe is really, really, really wanting to talk about romance this week. Every sign so far has been all romance. It's all been love connections. And that Five of Cups wanted to come out in that same spot. It did for Gemini. So I don't know if you're a Cancer, if you're dealing with a Gemini. If you are, you might want to look at that reading, especially with the cards I have coming out here. You definitely, if you are tied to a Gemini, you might want to look at that reading. Picking that up. Yeah, because we have a couple of the same cards and a little bit different, a different placing. But so in the center of your spread, you have the Knight of Cups. So wanting to give love to a situation. I'm almost feeling like, especially with the Ace of Cups here, is there's a desire to have a new beginning and wanting to get that ball rolling. But not, there is this Tower here. It's like, I think that there's something that is keeping this from going forward. Especially with the Justice here. I think that, there's things that you're not seeing, Cancer, that are going on that you're not aware of. I mean, I don't have a moon card here, but I was really drawn to the moon on the Seven of Swords there. And, that hidden under the moon, like there's things that, and Seven of Swords can talk about, deception. And so I think that the deception here is just there's some things that you're not aware of, Cancer, is what I'm really picking up on. And so I think that there's a strong desire to take action and to have a new beginning in love, with someone with this Two of Cups being your overall energy. There is someone that you really have on your mind that you want a new beginning in love, this Ace of Cups with the Knight of Cups of starting something new, and wanting to make this happen. But unfortunately, I think there are things that you're not aware of that are going on. I mean, I don't know if I don't know if these final cards will help clarify that of what is maybe hidden from you. You know what? Actually, let's just do that. I think I want to clarify because I'm really picking up what's hidden is underneath the Seven of Swords. So let's see what I'm going to go ahead and clarify the Seven of Swords for you, Cancer, and see if we can, okay, that's too many cards, but that one, so Lovers wanted to come out. Can I get two more cards? The Fool. What's the Seven of Swords? What's kind of hidden? What's the deception on the Seven of Swords? Okay. So I really think that what I'm picking up here, the Seven of Swords, is that there might be someone, like whoever this is, clarifying the Seven of Swords, I have the Lovers, the Fool, and the Queen of Wands. So I'm really feeling this is what is hidden is there may be only a desire to have, like, to connect really quickly for like this passionate moment, and it's like it's not well thought out and there's no stability to it. There's no long, not thinking it all the way through, and so, when, if this new beginning happens, it might, I think that's what's gonna, if you have this new start, I think that the Tower here kind of represents that there's not that stability yet in this relationship, that it may start out as a sexual relationship, a passionate relationship, but there's not going to be that stability because it's not like you don't have a solid foundation yet. This is it's something that might might be quick, one and done kind of thing. With that Fool and Queen of Wands, it's like somebody that's just, wanting to take a risk and a chance, and kind of throwing caution to the wind and just going with it in the moment, but with no plan for taking it further. Like, what do we do after that? We make this connection. We might have a great night together, but then how do we sustain that? How do we sustain that? And I think that's kind of the deception here under that Seven of Swords, is what it's saying is there may not be, that this foundation might be built on quicksand, so to speak, and there needs, and that can cause some issues. So to be aware of that there probably needs to be a stable foundation that's built here, before you can move forward. And that, I don't see any cards really I'm not really feeling communication. It's all, I guess, a little bit that Knight of Cups, your desire to move things forward. But I feel that is that, you're wanting to come from that romantic place, the cups, that cups place. Of course, this is Cancer, you know, wanting to give that love and give that love to that person, to whoever this person is for you. But I don't think they're sitting in that same energy. I think for them, it's just a, you know, like, they're not thinking like, they're thinking more superficially than, like something that's going to be sustained over time. So it's like you guys need to get on the same page. So we're going to get your final 3 cards. If that resonated with you, please feel free to hit that like button and leave any comments that you want down below. And always feel free to, if you want, to subscribe to my channel. I do a few different readings a week. And then also I do each of the signs for the month, an monthly overview. So we have the Wheel of Fortune come out as one of your final cards. And then the Empress and the Strength. So yeah, and like I said, this is, I feel for this to grow, to turn into that, you know, that Empress energy, for this to be abundant, to grow, this connection to grow and be abundant. I mean, yeah, it's going to take strength because I think that it's going to take strength and patience on your part, Cancer, because this wheel needs to turn. Because like I said, I feel like, you know, that you're in different frames of mind. You know, you're ready to make this connection work. You're ready to put the time and effort and investment into it. But I think whoever this is, they're not quite there yet. So if you want to make this work, you know, it's going to require patience and strength on your part, Cancer, to, you know, to let things just kind of play out and take the time to build that connection, you know, to build that more stable foundation. And that can be really hard because there's a part of you that's going to have to slow down the pace, even though you're ready to move it forward and have a real connection, a real relationship with this person. I don't think they're in that same mindset. It's kind of like, you know, somebody that still wants to stay single and free to pursue, and then somebody that's ready to, you know, build a life with someone. I feel like, you know, that's kind of, you're in those 2 different energies, and the other person is just not thinking on the terms of you know, on getting rid of their singlehood at this point in time. So that wheel is going to have to turn, that Wheel of Fortune is going to have to turn before, you know, this can progress in the right direction, which is going to require some strength before this can become an abundant relationship where there's equal give and take. So that's what I have for you, Cancer. I hope you enjoyed that reading. Thank you so much for joining us this week. Now we're going to go ahead and move on to Leo and see what we have for Leo. Hello, Leo. Thank you so much for joining me this week. I appreciate all of you that have taken time out of your busy schedule to come and spend some time with me. I appreciate that so very much. So this is an all sides reading that is sort of a potluck, whatever you need to know. It's whatever the universe wants to bring up and talk about for you, for each and every sign this week. Okay, well, I think I got some cards in here backwards. You know what? I think those want to come out, actually, because they're different cards than what I expected them. They're not the cards I put back in for Cancer. So, I think those wanted to come out. So we'll just go with it. Go with it. You always go with the flow. When things happen, you just go with it, roll with it, because there's usually always a reason. Let's see. Well, so far, I think you're trying to bring something together, Leo. I think there's a part of you. Oops. Where'd that card go? Give me just a second, because I don't know where that card cut went. I think it went underneath the chair. Oh, it went way behind the chair. That's the star card. So, as my hair decides to go crazy on us. Okay. I apologize for that. The card just had a mind of its own. That's kind of an important card, so I'm glad I went and picked it up. So you have the star card. Now get about coordinated here. Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay, so that's the card it wants as your center card, which is the Queen of Wands, which is definitely your energy, Leo. You got a lot of your cards out here on the table. You're sitting in the Queen of Pentacles. That's the overall energy for your read. So you're comfortable, stable, stable, happy where you are, abundant, got all your stuff together, living your best life. Okay. So I feel like, to me, that you're just wanting to go out. You're manifesting, trying to go out and have a good time. I think you're trying to bring happiness back to yourself. You're trying to get into this energy, your energy, the sun. You're trying to get back in that, being yourself again. I think there's this desire with the star card of being yourself again. I definitely think that there's been a period for you that things have been a little bit stuck. I'm getting that from that Knight of Pentacles, that things have been really slow, that just things haven't been going crazy in your life, like they've been just blah, like you haven't, like there hasn't just been much action in your life at all, Leo. And so I really feel like you're trying to manifest something better for yourself. You're trying to manifest this happiness, to go out and have a good time. Queen of Wands, wanting to have a good time, wanting to get out and celebrate, have, meet some people, meet some new people, just have a good time, And now I am going to say that there is another part of this reading. I am definitely picking up that's the overall message of the read. But we do have the King and Queen of Pentacles here. So I am picking that as there may be someone in your influence, in your energy around you that represents, that you represent this couple, this, that there is this stable connection between you and another person in your world. That, that seems to, you two just seem to click with, both of you sitting in that King and Queen of Pentacles energy where, you both are kind of stable, abundant, independent, hardworking people. But, there is this connection between you two, and there is the possibility to have a significant connection there. And I think that that's part of what you're manifesting. If this person isn't if this King of Pentacles isn't in your stratosphere right now, you're manifesting that. You're wanting to manifest your partner, your equal, the king to your queen, the queen energy you're sitting in. And I think with this, with this King of Swords sitting here, that there's this part of you, Leo, that is like, that's kind of just sitting back and observing. I'm really picking up just like realizing like that things have just been, like not you, your life has not been what it seems to be, like what you're used to. I really feel like you've gone through this just blah, boring time where just things haven't been happening for you, that you've just been kind of sitting back, maybe just chilling and watching some Netflix, and you're ready to go out and have a good time, get to meet some people because you're tired of sitting at home alone. I'm really feeling like you're wanting to get out and meet people, maybe meet, wanting to date, meet some people, look for that counterpart, look for your counterpart. And so I think with this King of Swords here, it's just, you sitting in that, that energy of really, getting that clarification on that you're tired of this, you're ready to manifest something else and bring, change your circumstances. I really am picking up on you're taking charge to change your circumstances, because yeah, the Queen of Pentacles is great and abundant and has all kinds of nice things, and they work really hard, but sometimes they can work too hard, and sometimes they don't always have, make time for fun. And I think that's the Leos I'm talking to this week is people, Leos that are trying to manifest some fun back into their life because they're ready just for, ready just to pick up their energy and have some fun again. I think you've been working too hard is what I'm really picking up on, basically. So if that resonated with you, please feel free to like and share any comments that you want below. I'd love to hear from you. We're getting our 3 final cards, wrapping this up with 3 final cards. Whatever wants to come out to wrap this reading up with. They are really making me shuffle. Okay, there we go. So the 4 of Swords. So yeah, you've been sequestered away. You've been, kind of, like I said, just hanging out. I'm really getting somebody that's been probably hermited a little bit away, doing some healing. So you've been kind of introverted, keeping to yourself, doing your own thing. Like I said, really pick up that vibe of just, just hanging out at home, watching Netflix. We're not really getting out and being around people, and you're ready to change that energy is what I'm really picking up. And it's just kind of reinforced that with that 4 of Swords coming out. I don't know if another card flipped. No. Oh, yep, it did. It did. And the Magician again. Yeah. I thought I saw another card that flipped. So you have 2 Magicians. So you're really, really manifesting, wanting to change, things to change. That's why I said I was really picking that up. And that's what I feel like the overall message is. And the last final 3 cards are just kind of confirming I was on point with where I was heading. Is that this is a Leo that's manifesting change into their life because they're tired of just they're tired of healing, tired of sitting home, tired of being alone, tired of being bored. They're ready to get out, have some fun. So they're manifesting communication, going out, having a good time, trying to meet new people, getting back in that energy of being the sun again, have it being who they are, getting, I think when they, during that time of being in that 4 of Swords, it was really, a lot of introspection and introspection to whatever was going on to your life. And because of that, you just weren't putting your energy out there. You weren't really getting out and having a good time. And you realized, you're tired and done with this. You're tired of healing, that you need to get back out there and be yourself again. You're ready to be your true self again and have a good time and put yourself back out there is what I feel, Leo. So I really hope that you will subscribe to my channel. I do have 3 different readings I do every week. And I also have started doing monthly overviews for each sign. So, if you subscribe to my channel, you'll be able to see when I post all that stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and move on to, and thank you so much once again for joining me and watching, listening. I appreciate that. So we're going to go ahead and move on to Virgo. Hello, Virgo, and any Virgos out there that decided to join me this week. This is basically just a potluck, whatever you need to know. It's whatever the universe wants to bring up for your sign this week. It can be anything that it wants to talk about that this thinks that your sign needs to know. Well, that King of Wands is saying it wants to come out, so we're going to go ahead and take it. I couldn't take all those cards because there was quite a big stack there. Okay. So thank you very much, Virgo, if you decided to join me today. I appreciate you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to come and join me here, and we'll see what the universe, what message the universe has for you this week. What does the universe want to talk to Virgos about this week, please? What do you want to talk to Virgos about this week? Okay. Okay, tells me it wants that bottom card too. Okay, Virgos. Okay, it looks like you're wanting to have a new start. I think that I feel like you're wanting to throw caution to the wind. We do have everything has been about love, even though I leave this completely open, but I keep picking up relationship energy. We have the counterparts here, the King and Queen of Wands. So I don't know if you're dealing with a Leo, Virgo or not, but you also have the Queen of Pentacles, which is Capricorn here as well. But I typically don't do signs, but for some reason I was drawn to that. So I'm really feeling like there's whoever this is, and I'm almost picking up with this Seven of Pentacles being your overall energy, Virgo, that this could be, an established relationship, somebody that's been in your life for, a long time, like either you're married to this person or you've had a relationship that you're living together, or it's been a long-standing relationship. It's been going on for a while, really picking that up. But, and especially, because things happen in a relationship when it's been a long-going relationship. And I'm picking that up. We got the Five of Wands and the Nine of Wands here. So it's like, some arguments, that cause some defensiveness. But I feel like, right now, Virgo is that I think that I feel like you're a little bit torn. Like with this Page of Wands, I feel like you're wanting, you're desiring to try and you're trying to spark this again. You're trying to spark this up again. You're wanting to have, to start over, and because you do care about this person and you do have this stability and you want to continue this stability. And I think that there's just been a little bit, some hiccups, is what I feel like. I think that with the Seven of Cups here, what I'm picking up off of the Seven of Cups is that it's like you don't know which direction to go in the relationship. Like there's just, it's like there's something here that has just kind of been a friction point. Something that you guys just haven't been able to kind of let go of. That's got you a little bit defensive. I mean, I don't see anything super negative here, that's bad. I feel like, Virgo, that you know, for the Virgos this resonates with, that you're wanting to just, you know, you're hoping to just get past this. I feel like with the spear, it's like you're wanting to just, you know, put a spear in it, in whatever has caused the issues, to kill it so you can move on. Put it in the past, kill it, put it in the past, and move forward. But I think there's some confusion with the Seven of Cups. I think there's a little bit of confusion yet, on which way to go to have this new beginning that you're looking for, to bring the stability, you know, have a stable new beginning that is going to bear, you know, the abundance that you're looking for, that is going to, you know, that you're planting the right seeds that are going to grow into something fruitful. And so I think that's where, you know, what the message is like, you know, or what do you need to know is like, there's this desire you have for you know, trying to find the right way to do this, like so that you plant the right seeds, and you're trying to weigh up your choices and options, because you're wanting this to be done, you know, like whatever caused that little bit of that Five of Wands. You're trying to play with my crystal, aren't you? You to be in this Five of Wands, and you know, like that conflicts. I'm really picking up these little bit of conflicts, like petty minor arguments, and it's just like, it's like that's wearing a little bit. It's made you put up the walls, and I think that you're wanting to, you know, you're just wanting to chuck a spear in these little petty things, and you're wanting to get past them, but it's like you're not sure how to do that, especially, you know, especially if you know, you and your partner are sitting in this King and Queen of Wands energy, that can be having a lot of desire for one another, you know, but that also can be quick tempered, you know, that you both can have this, you know, have this energy of being quick tempered. And so that can cause some, you know, some arguments and fights, but I think that you get past them as quickly as they flare up. But I think that you're wanting to get past that, and there's this part of you that's not sure exactly how to move past that energy, or get past, you know, these little flare-ups that you two have in your relationship, so that you can bring more love into the situation, and more, you know, more calmness, more stability, more love into the relationship. And yeah, and that's what you're looking for is, so it's telling me that there needs to be more give and take. So what I really feel like is someone in this relationship, and you're going to have to use your discretion on this, Virgo. Now I almost said Gemini, so keep that in mind, Virgo, if you have Gemini placements in your chart, or if you're dealing with a Gemini, or maybe, you know, want to check out the Gemini reading. Maybe there's something in that for you that, you know, it's calling that out, because I almost said Gemini. But Virgo, what I'm really picking up on is there's something here in one of you is giving a little bit more, like there's not equal balance in the relationship. I'm really feeling like there's that maybe some pride and stubbornness and ego might be getting in the way, on one or both of your parts, that there's something that, you know, in the way the energy dynamic is, it's like might be a little bit of a power struggle that's causing that instability between you. And so just keep that in mind. There might be, because you're looking for, you know, how do you end this? And it might be, either you or your partner has some ego and pride, or some stubbornness of some kind that needs to be set aside a little bit, or it's like, you need to move more toward, like focus more on the stability of the relationship. And the reason I say, stay that is because you have the or the Queen of Pentacles here twice. So it's like you might need to focus more on the stability, the abundance of the relationship. You know, what's going to bring that abundance? If these are petty, because I really picked up these are petty kind of arguments, it's nothing like significant. It's more just like, you know, quick heated, like, you know, in the moment, something, you know, just quick flare-ups of temper from time to time. You know, it could be figuring out what's going to give us more abundance and stability in this relationship. What's going to bring that calmness? You know, how do we step out of this, you know, King and Queen of Wands energy, this passionate, charged energy, and make that more earthy, more, you know, more calm, and calm things down, so to speak, and make them a little more passive than aggressive. Kind of balance that. I'm really feeling that need to balance out the energy, especially with that Six of Pentacles. It's that, you know, needing to balance out the energy in the relationship. There's something about the power dynamic is being off a little bit. So if that's what you're trying to figure out, that's what I'm picking up, Virgo, that it has something to do with the power dynamic in the relationship that needs to be adjusted. If you want to, you know, if you do want to get past this, like it indicates. So that's what I have for you, Virgo. I hope you enjoyed that message. If you did, I would love for you to like this video, and feel free to make any comments down below. And of course, I'd love for you to subscribe and join my channel. I post 3 videos every week. Plus I started doing monthly overviews for each and every sign. So that's what I have for you, Virgo. I'm going to go ahead and move on to Libra. Hello, Libra. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you very much. I appreciate you greatly. Thank you. Thank you for taking time to join me this week. What we're here doing is, and I do these each and every week, is what do you need to know? It's kind of like a potluck reading. It's just whatever the universe wants to talk to your sign about. Whatever wants to come through, we just let it come through and see what it has to say. Okay. So your overall energy, Libra, is the 3 of Cups. So who are you trying to come together with? Or are you trying to just go out and is this community in general? Well, I don't know. We'll see what. Okay, so the middle of your spread, the center core card is the 6 of Pentacles. So trying to get out there and give of yourself. I have a feeling I'm really picking up for you. This is life in general. I really feel like this is getting out. Like this could be around I really just feel like this is in general, like maybe a project that might be going on for you. I'm really thinking this not getting seriously not getting a love vibe, romantic relationship vibe, really much at all. And which you're the first sign so far of these readings that I haven't had something love related come up in the message. So, but I'm really picking up on that there's this desire for you to get out and communicate with other people and share yourself, like share your, I'm really figuring, you know, like share your knowledge, share your wealth, share who you are, with this Ace of Swords. It's like having a new beginning in clarity that's where I'm getting like share yourself, share your truth, share who you are with people. There's definitely, with the Death card here, I think that I'm focused more on the rebirth, and I'm really what I really saw, I'm really focused on is that light, like that guiding light in his hood back there, like shining through, like wanting to connect, wanting to, that connection, is what I'm really picking up on. And even the same thing, like with this, it's like, this is almost like star is almost like a balloon. There's that little string that's connecting it, that's attached. So it's like that connection, to self, to wisdom, to source, to others, to it's just wanting to be more connected, more connected, to give of yourself more, to communicate more, to just put yourself out there in general, is what I'm picking up on, Libra, is wanting to move, like there's this energy of, it's not going to be overnight. It's not going to be something quick, because this is just something that you're desiring, that you're desiring to move in this direction, and put time toward, like I said, reconnecting with the world around you is what I'm really getting, really just wanting to put yourself out there, and connect. I'm picking, part of me is picking up nature vibes of wanting to connect with nature. But it's just connect in general, connect in some way, shape, or form. And I think it's going to be different for different Libras. So that's why it's a little more generic, because I think it's just this desire to connect with the world around you in some way, to communicate your truth more, to share, to give more of yourself, to share more of yourself with others. But I think there is a little bit of fear around that. I think there's a little bit of, I think this is slow in happening, Libra, because I feel like there's a part of you that is like, there might be a little bit of self-doubt is what I'm picking up on. There might be some self-doubt. Okay. So these are interesting cards. Okay, so as your final cards, I have Justice, Judgment, and the Queen of Pentacles. So I think the Queen of Pentacles is where you're trying to go. I picked this up as that, like that worldly energy of wanting to be more abundant and wanting to give more of yourself to, you're starting to gather the resources, you're starting to build the resources, you're starting to plant the seeds, to bring more abundance into your life, to work to become that Queen of Pentacles. And you know that it's time for that. You know that what needs to be done is what I really am picking up on, Libra. You know what needs to be done. You just have to do it. And I think in this sense, the justice is bringing justice to yourself and being fair with yourself, because I did say, I am picking up on this doubt, this little bit of self-doubt, like you don't have the ability to become that Queen of Pentacles. There's this doubt or fear in you that this self-doubt that you may not be able to do what you're wanting to do here, where connect in the way, make the connections that you need to make to become this abundant person, to improve your life, I definitely see you working toward it and building toward it very slowly. And I think that, the universe is saying that it will come. If you build it, it will come. It's going to be slow. It's definitely a slow process, but you're moving toward that, that star for you. It's something you desire. And I see you slowly moving that rebirth. Like I said, with this death rebirth, I was really drawn to that star. And I think it's that rebirth. It's moving in a new direction very slowly, because we have the Knight of Pentacles, the Seven of Pentacles, the Six of Pentacles, and then in the final cards we have the Queen of Pentacles. So it's all about, it's moving toward that stability, but it's definitely slow, because Pentacles not only are abundance, they're also time. It's also time. And the Knight of Pentacles is very slow moving. And Seven of Pentacles talks about planting those seeds and putting down the roots, building the foundation, the roots, time invested into something, with the next card being, working on something. So you went from the Six of Pentacles to Seven of Pentacles. So we're slowly seeing this increase, that you're slowly, Libra, moving, toward, where you're wanting to get, whatever this is for you in your life, that, where this Three of Cups lies, that, coming together with, with someone or something, like, whatever you're trying to bring together, whether that's a project that you're trying to make birth into existence, or coming together in some situation, you're on your way. And the only thing I see that's holding you back is that self-doubt. When you get in that energy of self-doubt, it slows things down even more toward moving toward what you desire. So that's what I have for you, Libra. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. If you liked or resonated with that message, please go ahead and hit that like button down there for me. And of course, feel free to subscribe and leave any comments that you want to leave for me. I appreciate that as well. I'd love to hear from you. Definitely would love to hear from you. I love, getting any feedback to know if this is resonating with you or not. And that's what I have for you this week, Libra. Thank you again so much. Now we're going to go ahead and move on to Scorpio. Hello, Scorpio, and thank you so much for joining me. This is going to be this week's What Do You Need to Know? It's kind of a potluck of different things. You know what? I hate to say it, but that feels wrong. It feels wrong. I felt when they were coming off my hands that it was telling me, no, that's not what we want. So we're starting over, because that's what it's telling me to do. So I don't know how your week's going. I hope it's going really well for you. I know my week has gone by really, 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 really fast, which has been really nice compared to the last several weeks. So that Six of Pentacles came back as your overall energy. It was the other cards that I felt were the ones, the two that came out after that, were the ones that didn't want to come out. And it clarified that for me, since it brought that right back up, that Six of Pentacles right back up as your overall energy. Okay, it looks like you have some stuff going on, Scorpio, which is why it wanted me to, wow, okay. Scorpio, you got a pretty heavy reading, it looks like here. So it looks like you're trying to, so with the Six of Pentacles being your overall energy, and that came out twice, even though I put it back in the deck, it came right back out again as your overall energy, with the center of your spread being the Four of Swords. So definitely trying to heal from something, definitely taking a time out, especially with the Hermit being here as well. Trying to use your inner wisdom, I think you're trying to bring something to the surface, Scorpio. I think that you're realizing there's something that's not right, something that needs to change, something that has, that's not the best. It's either in a situation around you, or it's something within you. I'm really being pulled toward this is something in you that you're taking the time to figure out, an aspect of yourself that needs to change. And I'm saying that because there's some self-deception here. There's been some self-deception where you've kind of deceived yourself. I think that you've tried to make yourself believe that you were okay when there really wasn't. you really weren't. There was something here. It's kind of like the energy of kind of self-deception of thinking that you are one way when really you're not. You know, you're putting out to the world one thing, and you're really believing this is who you are. But deep down, you know there's something that's rubbing, that's wrong, that's, you know, like you might be seeing it like it's being reflected in the relationships around you, the people around you, that when you connect that you're seeing, you know, or people maybe even telling you, you know, that you have this trait or behavior that's not the best, and you weren't seeing it. You know, you were deceiving yourself that you truly believed you were okay. But then I see something happened, which made you go within and really start trying to look at these things where you have self-deceived yourself, where what was hidden underneath that you've been hiding all this time, that was way down deep, and you're using, you know, you're really trying to bring that to the surface and examine it and look at it, you know, with this Four of Swords and Hermit energy. You're really, you know, you're trying to manifest being a different person. You're trying to change. You're trying to change that aspect of yourself, you know, because you're tired of being the person that you've been. So you're, you know, and this is requiring you to be patient with yourself, you know, and I'm not surprised that this Four of Pentacles is out here, because it's really just saying, you know, that you're not putting yourself out there right now, Scorpio. You're holding back, and it makes sense, because you're holding back because you're trying to sort through some stuff, trying to figure something out, you know, something, like I said, that that you need to change. So you're not putting your best foot forward right now. You're not going out there and putting yourself out there, which makes perfect sense, you know, that you would, you know, you'd be a little more reserved right now, because you're trying to, maybe there's a part of you that you know doesn't want that, whatever you're sorting out here, to come out to the people around you. And I think it, you know, obviously it's going to probably have something to do with how much you've been giving of yourself, like that dynamic of either you've been overgiving to a situation, or maybe you're realizing that, you know, and this is going to be different for each person. It's, you know, it can be lots of things, but for example, it could be, you know, you realize that you're more selfish than you realized that you were. Like, it's come to your attention that, you know, you're typically selfish. And so you're trying to figure out, how can I be less selfish? You know, how do I end this in myself? How do I get past that? How can I become a different person? So you're manifesting, you know, this change in yourself, so that you can either give or receive more in your life. And I don't know, it's going to be different what that dynamic is for each person. So you have to use, you know, take it how it resonates for you. So we're going to get the final three cards. What final three cards do you have for Scorpios for this week, please? So the King of Cups. So it's, I'm feeling that, you know, the King of Cups can be stingy. So it can be a little bit of like holding back, being reserved, especially with this Four of Pentacles here, that maybe, you know, maybe you haven't been showing emotion as much as, you know, like maybe not putting in that emotional investment in people around you. You know, maybe you've been a little bit selfish and not investing in things, especially with that Four of Cups. That can be a little bit of selfishness, and especially also with the King of Cups here, and picking up that little bit of selfish energy. And so you do have a desire, a strong desire. You have the Ace of Wands, a strong desire to have a new beginning, to start something new. But I think that's going to come after, after you figure this out. You're not there yet, Scorpio. You're still trying to sort through things and figure that out. But there is a desire to get past this, to become, to manifest and change and have a passionate new desire. And yeah, you're working on that. Yeah. So, I mean, like I said, I definitely picked up that, that's, you're working on that. You're working to change this, change this aspect of yourself, of the selfish energy that you might have. Now, this may be, it could be reversed. It could be, like I said, I did say that, you could be giving too much. Because the King of Cups can have a lot of love, but usually they're reserved in giving it, or they don't always show it. And so what I'm really feeling with this energy is more than likely I'm talking to any Scorpios, especially with this devil being on the table, with this devil energy being on the table, that I'm really picking up on. It's probably around Scorpios that tend to be selfish in nature, and this, you're wanting to change that aspect of yourself. You're working to change that aspect of yourself, manifesting a new beginning where you give more, you're more balanced in nature and how you give of yourself and give of your energy and your love to people. So you're wanting to step out of this being selfish and holding, tightly onto your love, where you're not giving it, is what I really feel for you, Scorpio, is the message. You'll get there. It's saying, you'll get there. It's just you just got to keep working on it. You'll get there. So that's what I have for you, Scorpio. If it did resonate, please hit that like button and leave any comments you want down below. Always feel free to subscribe to my channel. I do a few different readings each and every week. So I do 3 different regular readings every week, and then I've been doing a monthly overview for each and every sign. So thank you again, Scorpio. Moving on to Sagittarius. Hello, Sagittarius. Take that as your overall energy. The 6 of Swords. What are you moving away from? The 5 of Swords. Moving away from the 5 of Swords. Oh, yeah, there's a card hiding under there. The Ace of Wands is hiding under the Devil. So I'm going to definitely read those two together since they came out. So the Ace of Wands was hidden underneath the Devil. So what are you there is something that you desire, that you're obsessively desiring about, that you're wanting to move toward. You're wanting to get out of this 5 of Swords energy, move away from that, and have this, there's something you're obsessing about that you want to have a passionate new beginning in. Yeah, and you're wanting to move quickly toward it. For sure. Temperance cards have been coming out quite a bit today. And you do have the Temperance here, but I think the Temperance is you trying to temper how quickly, because yeah, like I said, I think you're trying to temper this obsession you have about this new beginning. Because I think that you're desiring it and obsessing about it a bit. You're definitely wanting to take actions towards something. I have this as an Emperor standing in his power, determined to want to take action towards something, which is, why there's this obsession. That obsession is causing that Emperor to want to take action and charge towards something with this Knight of Swords energy. But I really feel like, I think you have the moon here, and I'm not sure. I think I'm going to have to clarify this moon that's here, because I don't know what that represents. I'm really picking up on the wolves howling in the background, that, and that's really tying me, it's tying me back to that devil, because these kind of have, you know, they're a little bit of the same color, and the stars that are in that background with those wolves are the stars that are in this guy's hair, that kind of stardust. So, and I'm drawn to the wolves in the background, and you know, it's like, kind of like, it's like, you know, that howling at the moon, like letting yourself free, Sagittarius. It's like you just want to move toward this with whatever this is. It's like you are wanting to, you're just obsessively wanting to move toward it quickly, passionately, you know, with all abandon, you know, just throwing all caution to the wind, and just, you know, wolves can almost encompass that kind of a free spirit. But there's something hidden here. There's something you don't see with this moon. I think there's something here, and I need to clarify that, because I'm not sure what's being hidden here. Okay, so yeah. So that's, ooh, okay. So I think, so there is a desire, there's a desire in you, to, I think that there's a desire in you to, interesting enough, it's kind of, I have, you know, I said I was drawn to those two wolves. The wolves are black and white. You know, they're howling at the moon on other sides of there, and that can represent, you know, the two sides of you, the light and the dark. But they also almost like they're facing off with one another. And then with this, you know, this Five of Wands that I have here, and it's hard to see, but you know, it's dragons there, um, battling up in the air, and you know, and knights trying to battle the dragons. There's even a knight on a drag, like there's people on dragons trying to battle and face off against one, this kind of face off, and so, but you have that here with the Four of Wands and the Ace of Cups. So it's like there's, it's like you're almost, what's hidden is this real desire to even though you're trying to approach something with all abandon, with tons of passion, that Ace of Wands, you know, passionate forward movement of trying to, you know, have this new beginning, passionate new beginning, you're hiding the fact that there's a lot of love here. You know, that there's this desire in you. It's like there's this conflict in you that you, even though you're approaching a situation, with all abandon, this reckless abandon, you really want stability. You know, it's like deep, you're kind of hiding the fact that there's this part of you that wants stability, and there's this like, there's like conflict when it comes to, finding that stability, and it's like you want to go after that stability with reckless abandon, you know, that love and stability, but you're wanting to go, you're going at it like a Tasmanian devil, you know, like, or a China in a bull shop kind of way. You know, and so And that can even be with this emperor. You know, the emperor takes charge, you know, of a situation. And so I'm just really getting this strong image of like a bull in a china shop, you know, where you're breaking everything along the way, when deep down you're, you know, what you're trying to get toward is this, you know, this Four of Wands, Ace of Cups, Four of Wands is, you want to have lots of love and stability in love, but you're almost in a way self-sabotaging that because of the way you're going about it. It's like almost like with the Six of Swords, you're wanting to move away. You know, usually it's wanting to move away from choppy waters. And with you, I think that you're the one causing the choppy waters. You're causing your own choppy waters in this situation, Sagittarius, is what I'm really picking up on. That you're the one causing the waves, and it's causing, you know, the disturbance, the disruption in a sense. And so I don't know. I don't know if that resonates with you or not, but I think there's a need, you know, with justice being in the center of the spread, there's a need to bring justice into the situation, where I think this justice is you, you know, you calming yourself down, especially with this temperance, and trying to bring into balance, you know, almost temper with temperance, you know, this obsessive desire to be this, you know, like to almost reckless abandon Sagittarius, like to just be that china in the bull shop, to just go in guns blazing, you know, in a moment of glory, to try and make something happen, when you're really desiring stability. You know, you're really desiring something to be long term. You know, you're wanting something that is going to last. But when you come in hot and heavy, you break everything, you know, and then you're like, how do I fix this? You know, you rock the boat. Don't rock the boat, baby. Don't rock the boat. That's what I really pick up, Sagittarius. You're rocking the boat. Stop rocking the boat. That's what I get for you. That's your message, is don't rock the boat. Stop rocking the boat. And it's not surprising, because Sagittarius is a fire sign, so we can be fiery, and it's definitely being picked up in this reading. Very interesting. Okay, so what are your final three cards? We have the Sun. No, sorry, didn't want that. Okay. And the Page of Swords, I believe that is. So I'm getting is in the Nine of Swords. Yeah, so you're causing yourself a lot of headache. I'm really picking up on with the final cards, and the final message is Sagittarius is to bring to get the happiness that you're looking for. It's just going to take really clarifying for yourself, you know, like sorting through your emotions, and how you feel about things, and tempering this devil. I'm picking that up, that you need to temper that devil, and in the self conflict that you cause, you know, in yourself, where you're just you act a little bit too impulsively at times. You have these passionate new beginnings. When you have them, they're like spontaneous, impulsive, and you're not thinking them through all the way, which is causing the conflict of you having, building towards something long-term and stable in love, which is what was hidden under your moon. And so to get that happiness, you need to temper that devil, get out of, the anxiety and the stress that you cause because you get obsessive, about something and just charge toward it. So it's like you need to temper that, and you need to learn to temper that, kind of take some time to really kind of, I keep, seeing a sword dipped in water and the smoke, tempering it, to cool off the hot metal, the hot flaming rod. That's what I got an image on. I know that's bad, but that's what I just, to really temper those fires, the smoldering hot fire, that you need to temper that and get control over it and control over your thoughts a little bit, and think more long-term instead of more impulsively is what I have for you, Sagittarius. That was actually a pretty fun read. I hope that resonated with you. If it did, please feel free to hit that like button and leave any comments below and let me know what you if that resonated with you or not, Sagittarius. That was actually a pretty fun read. Thank you so much for joining me. Also, I'd love if you subscribe to my channel. I'd love to have you as part of my group. Okay, so, okay, let's see. After Sagittarius, we have Capricorn. So moving on to Capricorn. Hello, Capricorn. Thank you so much for any Capricorns out there that decided to join us this week. This is What You Need to Know. It's basically a potluck. We're just letting the universe speak whatever it wants to tell your sign for this week. So Capricorn, you have the King of Wands as your overall energy. So right off the top of, I'm getting two cards, something that's requiring strength on your part, but also something that you're being a little bit stubborn about, which isn't too far of a stretch for a Capricorn. But I feel like there's something you're kind of you're standing your ground on is what I'm picking up on. And it's taking strength. I'm seeing that lion in the background, and I almost said Leo, and I kept feeling Leo off of that. So you might be dealing with a Leo, but not necessarily, but it's taking strength to stand your ground on something, and it's a little bit of stubbornness on your part. I'm really picking that energy up a little bit, because I feel like this person has been standing there like for a minute, that they're hot and sweaty and tired and they just want to go home, but they're determined to just stand their ground. And they're resolved in doing so, is what I'm really picking up. This resolution to stand at your ground and be firm in your position and not give, It's what I'm really picking up off of that King of Wands. Okay, so you're wanting to work towards your happiness, or what you feel is your happiness, Capricorn. Okay. The center of your spread is the King of Swords. So it's so the King of Swords usually knows what's going on, he kind of knows what's going on. He's holding Archangel Michael's sword, the sword of truth. He has clarity on things. But I don't see action being taken. He's sitting on his ass. Like I said, with this King of Wands, I felt like just stand in your ground. And you know, he's seated there almost looking determined as well, like, I'm not going to move. I'm sitting here and I'm going to stay here. And do what I'm doing, you know. I think that you're I really feel like I don't, you know, this is going to apply to any dynamic in your life. You're going to have to take it for you, for what it resonates for you. Because I'm not feeling, there's nothing that's indicating whether it's love or work. You know, you have the Eight of Pentacles is really, you know, there's not a lot of Pentacles. There's not a lot of, you have Four of Pentacles and Eight of Pentacles. But I feel like, you know, that Four of Pentacles is just more of that stubborn energy. It's more of that just standing your ground. I really am feeling that standing your ground on something, especially with the Judgment in the world. You're wanting something to change. You're wanting something to end and change, and you're working on this change to bring judgment so that you can have your happiness in a situation. And you're wanting to, you know, you're wanting to move toward that. And I think you're wanting to communicate that with someone is what I'm feeling like. You're wanting to express that you're, you know, that this is your truth, you know, like, this is your truth. This is what you want. This is what you desire. This is what you're working on. This is what you want. And you want this change, and you're stubbornly working toward making this change for yourself because you know it's your happiness, and you want to express it to someone around you. I mean, it could be anyone, but you're wanting to express this need for this change that you feel is going to lead to your happiness, because something left you disappointed. I might clarify this Five of Cups, because that is the only card here that's really super negative. Like, I mean, well, it's not even really that negative. It's minor arcana, and but it's disappointment. There's something that you were focused on, but you're determined not, you know, like, I feel like that's where it's tying to this Judgment a little bit. So I want to go ahead and clarify this Five of Cups, because I think that's really what is causing this stubbornness, whatever this Five of Cups is, which we have the Seven of Wands. So it's something you felt like you had to defend yourself against, which, I mean, I can see that with the fact that I said I feel like you're wanting to stand your ground. And Seven of Wands is like standing your ground, you know, standing your ground on something, on some kind of point or something, you know, that you want to, some kind of change that you want to see in your world. Either in a person, yourself, your world, your surroundings. And then was that the Eight of Swords. So, you know, that's up in the Chariot. So you're wanting to move away from being, you know, like, overthinking something. So there's something that had you in your head that caused you this disappointment. Something, the way you either, you know, the way you reacted to something, or the way you looked at something, the way you saw something, you know, you overthought that. You kind of got yourself stuck in your mind believing one thing, and like you couldn't do it, like you couldn't do something. And now you're determined that you're going to make it happen. You know, and it could be that someone tried to talk you out of believing that you could do something, and they had you believing you couldn't do something, or that you had to stay in the circumstances that you were in. You felt like you just had to stay where you were, and you're like, no, I don't need to anymore. You're wanting this cycle to end. You're like, I don't want to stay here anymore. I want to work toward my happiness. I want to do what's right for me, and I'm going to make it happen. You got that Chariot, you know, wanting to make it happen, you know, move toward, you know, toward your happiness, you know, and get out of this, move away from this Eight of Swords, whatever was making you feel stuck, you know, like made you mentally feel like you couldn't move forward. You're wanting to get past that, and you're determined to get past that. So let's go ahead and get your final 3 cards, Capricorn, for this week. Well, I think that's them. So heartache. So something caused you some heartache. And I think it was, you know, like I said, somebody had you believing that you couldn't do something, you know. You believed it, you know, you believed that things couldn't change. And you somehow at some point you realize that things, you have the power, you realize you do have the power to change your circumstances. So you have the 7 of Pentacles, the King of Pentacles, and the 3 of Swords. So I feel like this is something that, you know, that is related to your stability, that you worked on, that you thought was your stability, that you worked really hard toward. You put a lot of investment in, and you worked really hard on, that is your stability. For you, it is your stability in your world. And you are fighting, you know, to, I think there's a part of you that realized that whatever this was that disappointed you, that you realized that wasn't part of your stability and your happiness. You know, that you put a lot of time and effort towards something that you thought was your stability, but it just brought you heartache. And so, but I think it's because, you know, someone had you convinced that this is what you wanted. And you realized, I don't know if that's really what I want. I think I want this. And once you realized with this King of Swords that this is what you wanted, you're now standing your ground and changing the dynamic, and saying, you know, this is what I want for myself. And, you know, you're just standing your ground and saying, this is what I want. Take it or leave it kind of thing. I'm not budging on this, whatever this is for you, whatever thing it is, Capricorn, you're like, no, this is where I stand. This is where I stand my ground. This isn't going to change. This is what I want for myself. Take it or leave it. It's kind of that take it or leave it. You know, if you want to be with me, or if you know, if we're going to do this, it's going to be this way, you know. And it doesn't have to be a romantic relationship. I mean, it can be a friend or a family member or anything in your life, you know, where you have decided you're not putting up with something anymore because it's disappointed you, and you're done with that. You're done with being you're done with being in your head feeling like you're stuck, like you don't have a choice. You felt like you didn't have a choice, and you realized you do have a choice. And now once you realize you have a choice, you are working hard and stubbornly, determinedly working toward shutting out the cycle where you thought you didn't have a choice to move toward what is your happiness. That's what I have for you, Capricorn. That was pretty good reading. I hope that resonated with you. If it did, you know, go ahead and I'd love for you to hit that like button and leave any comments that you feel like leaving below. Thank you again for taking time out of your busy schedule to join me this week. I appreciate each and every one of you that do. Thank you so much. I would also love if you would consider subscribing to my channel. I do 3 different readings every week, each and every week. And then I have started doing a monthly overview for each zodiac sign as well. Thank you so much. Okay, that was your reading, Capricorn. We're going to go ahead and move on to Aquarius. Hello, all you Aquarians out there. I have Aquarius and Capricorns kind of hold special places in my heart to a degree. My grandkids my 2 grandkids are Aquarius and a Capricorn. Love them dearly. So how are you, Aquarius? This is what you need to know. It's just kind of a potluck where I just let the universe talk about whatever it wants to talk about for your sign for this week. Whatever it wants to talk about. It can be anything under the blue moon, which is why it's kind of a potluck, whatever you need to know. I have no idea what's going to come up. So Aquarius, you have the Emperor. You are standing in the Emperor energy for this week. It's a pretty good, and it can be a pretty good energy to be in depending on what cards come out with it. I'm really picking up on like observing, like sitting back and trying to observe something is what I'm picking up on with that Emperor. Like usually the Emperor takes action, but with this, the way I'm seeing this is just, he's like almost in observer mode. Like he's just sitting back and taking in what's going on around him, like trying so that he can make the right decision before he takes action. Oh, you got some tough cards here, Aquarius. What's going on? What is going on? Wow. Okay. Wow. Okay. Aquarius, what is going on? You got some trouble in paradise here. I can see why you're in observer mode, or where I felt like I got observer off of the Emperor. At the center of your spread, we have the Eight of Swords. So that's that mental prison. You know, it's feeling stuck, like we can't do something, like there's something that's holding us back. Something, it can be a limiting belief, it can be fear, it can be anxiety, it can be, you know, there's so many things that keep us bound, you know, but it's we've almost self-bound ourselves. You know, it's that mental prison of believing that you can't do something when really you can, you know, but you've basically convinced yourself otherwise. And we also have the Five of Swords and the Five of Cups here as well. And the Four of Swords. So it's like, I'm really picking up on there was some confusion around something. Something has got you so confused, and you're obsessively thinking about it, you know, like obsessively trying to figure out, you know, what happened, you know, like what has got you stuck here. Why are you not able to move forward? And I feel like I'm really feeling like, you know, it's this energy of what happened, you know, like you're trying to figure out what happened. Because you have right next to each other, you have the Death and the Devil. So it's like, you know, what happened here? You know, why did something end? You know, why did something change? Why was I powerless in being able to keep this from ending? You know, and almost obsessing over why, you know, why did this happen? You know, and even with this Page of Pentacles, it's like trying to learn and figure out what happened, you know, why was I helpless in this? Why, you know, why couldn't I change this? Why couldn't I'm just feeling like helpless, a little bit of helplessness, you know, like you didn't feel like you had the power to change the circumstances, or you know, and you're trying to figure out why, you know, like how. I think you're really trying to figure out how to get past that, how to free yourself. You're working on, I think what I'm seeing here is you trying to work on figuring out why you felt like you had no choice. You're trying to really just tear that apart, which is why that devil's here, is because you're really, you're really trying to dissect this. That's the word I'm looking for, like dissect what happened here, and try and figure out what went wrong, why you felt restricted, what was keeping you from, what made you self-sabotage this, why are you self-sabotaging whatever this is. And I don't know what it's going to be for you in your life, Aquarius. But it's something that you felt powerless against, and you felt for some reason that you couldn't keep it from happening, and you're trying to figure out how things went wrong. What could you have done differently? Is what I'm getting. So with this Emperor here, it's like trying to take charge of the situation and really look at, I said it, to me it was like an observer, like somebody that's kind of taking an outside view and looking at the situation from the outside in, to really look at what happened in a situation and why it went wrong and what part you played in that. Is there something you could have changed? Or, why did you feel like you were helpless? Why were you not able to make this work or make this happen? Why did it end? But you're obsessively thinking about, like dissecting this and tearing it apart and trying to figure out why, which is good because it's healing you. You're trying to heal something. You're sitting in the energy of trying to heal whatever this is for you. So let's go ahead and see what the final 3 cards are. See if there's any outcome or advice for getting past this, whatever it is for you. Whatever has got you, you're really dissecting something. But like I said, I really see that it's leading toward healing on your part. So it's, I think you're just in a rough patch right now, Aquarius, but I think that you're going to get past that once you get some clarity around this, is what I think. There might be someone you feel like you owe an apology to. So yeah, you're not realizing that there's a lot of opportunities around you, Aquarius, right now. A lot of opportunities. You have a lot of opportunities that are surrounding you, but you're not seeing them because you're so focused on this, and that's forcing healing. Even though you're going about it in a bit of an obsessive way, it is forcing you to heal something, possibly within yourself. I think it's almost as a side note. I don't think it was necessarily intentional to heal this. I think it's just happening as a byproduct. Yeah, there's the Hierophant. So yeah, it's happening as a byproduct of the process that you're going through to try and dissect this and be that observer to look back over the situation and learn from it. You're really trying to learn from it. Oh, there we go. Okay, yeah, you're working on it. You're trying to use your wisdom, the Hierophant. You're trying, you're trying to really, really just gain some understanding here, and work on the situation. Like I said, you're diagnosing it. I think that you are going to, make whatever changes that you need, once you get past this. But the universe does want to tell you there are other opportunities around you if you do want to take your head out of this. You do have a lot of opportunities around you right now, that you potentially could not, you might not be seeing because you're so wrapped up in this process right here. So that's what I have for you, Aquarius. I hope you liked that reading and it resonated with you. If it did resonate with you, I would appreciate it if you hit that like button below and leave any comments that you feel like leaving. Also, if you want to subscribe to my channel, I put out 3 different readings every week, and this is one of them. The All Signs is one of them. I also do a soul weather forecast and a very short weekend love vibes video. I also do a monthly overview at the beginning of the month for each and every zodiac sign. So thank you again for joining me, Aquarius. Okay, we're going to go ahead and move on to Pisces. Hello, Pisces. You get the same card came back out. I shuffled and the same card came back out. For you, Pisces, as came out as the overall energy for Aquarius. Interesting. Interesting. And you have the Empress. So you have a divine connection here surrounding you right now. Pisces, definitely got Emperor and Empress. But it's looking like there's a lot of, let's see. I think I need more. I think I need more cards. So it looks like, something happened here between you and your significant other, your divine counterpart, whoever this is for you. I have, Emperor, Empress, so, definitely a strong divine connection, especially since I have I have Temperance, which can be the angel card right here. So the center of your shred, you have the 10 of Swords. So that's the end of a very, very, very hard cycle. And I feel like right now there's a little bit of, I think there's a little bit of a wall between you and your person. There's this like a little bit of, I'm just picking up, with the 7 of Wands being between you two, I'm really picking up on there's just a little bit of silence between you two, I don't know how much silence. I'm just picking up there's some silence that you guys might not be completely speaking to each other right now. I don't know how long that's been going on. But I think the distance has caused a lot of pain for you, Pisces. And it's caused you to really get up in your head and really it's got you a bit confused on what's going on in the situation. And I feel like, you're wanting to move forward. You're wanting to move past this. You're wanting to end this with this 10 of Swords here. And I feel, 10s are the end. And then we also have, right under that, we have the World card. So, it's definitely indicating to me that that things are about to change. This, a new cycle is about to begin in this relationship for you, Pisces. And this is something you definitely desire. We have the 9 of Cups here. It's something that you wish for, you desire for. You have a lot of passion for this person, which, doesn't surprise me considering you have divine counterparts here. It's just that right now, it's been very hard on you, Pisces, because you're not speaking to this person, and that's led to some confusion and some pain on your part. And you're ready to get past that. You want that wall to come down. You want the silence to end. You're wanting to communicate again with your person. I don't have really any cards of communication really on the table, though. There's a little bit there with the birds on the 10 of Swords. There's all the communication I see is it's lost in confusion. Like it's that the communication that might be there, if there's any communication, it's small communication. It could be leading to more confusion. It could be misunderstood communication. Um, if there is communication, I'm kind of picking that up, that could be the case. And so, so for the final three cards, we have the Five of Wands, the Emperor again, and the Judgment. So I'm really, this is really picking up, since this Emperor is being reflected in these final three cards, which was also, you know, your main energy coming out. So this is definitely you. You know, it's reinforcing that, you know, there's judgment that needs to be brought here, that I have a feeling that that there's been some exchange of words, because like I said, I'm really picking up on the communication that's happened has been misleading and confusing, and it may have started some conflicts. The communication that's happened between you has been misunderstood. There's been confusion around it, and there's with this judgment here, it's like we need to clear the air. You know, we need to clear the air. We need to, fix the situation. We need to call judgment on it. You know, we need to really just lay things down and resolve the problem. It's like there is no, you know, calling judgment. I mean, it could be, you know, it's like trying to correct what's been wronged, you know. I really am picking up on that, you know, clearing the air, you know, blowing the horn on this, clearing the air, you know, just wanting to put the cards on the table. And I think what needs to happen is that there needs to be there needs to be more clear communication between you two. I think that I'm really picking up on that's been the point of contention and conflict, is the communication that's happened between you two has been confusing and painful, that it's been misunderstood, that there's just misunderstandings here is what I'm getting at. And those misunderstandings have caused some pain. So I think once you clear those up, once you're able, you know, to clear the air, and then, you know, you're going to be able to take action. You're going to be able to, you know, understand the way you need to move forward and step out of this confusion and pain that you're in, Pisces, and move forward once you clear the air with this person, and almost have a do-over in a sense. So that's what I have for you, Pisces. Thank you so much for joining me. If that resonated with you, I appreciate it if you hit that like button and leave any comments you feel fit to below. I'd appreciate it very much. And thank you once again. If you'd like, I do, if you subscribe to my channel, I do put out 3 readings a week. This one plus my soul weather forecast, and then a weekend love vibe. And then at the beginning of the month, I started doing monthly overviews for each and every sign. So please feel free to subscribe and join me for those other readings. I appreciate you very much. I hope you have a great and wonderful week wherever you are in the world. Joy, love, and light.